What if I told you that AA isn't here to help everyone, but instead, it has one primary purpose for one specific type of person? The fifth tradition of our fellowships is what is meant to keep the message of recovery clear, undiluted, and available to the alcoholic or addict who truly needs it. Without it, AA could lose its focus and suffering alcoholics might never find the solution. Today, we're diving into what the fifth tradition really means, why it matters, and how it ensures that the right message reaches the right people. If you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel for recovery content and share it out with anyone who would benefit from the message. Please remember while I'm sharing on this topic that I am not a spokesperson for AA or claiming membership of any 12-step fellowship. I'm sharing from personal experience with the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and my own recovery journey. The fifth tradition of AA states, each group has but one primary purpose, to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. This tradition is what keeps AA effective. AA is not a social club, a self-help group, or a therapy program. It exists for one reason, to carry the message of recovery to the alcoholic who needs it. Without this clear purpose, the fellowship could easily drift into distractions, losing focus on the real solution that saves real alcoholics. This tradition protects AA's integrity, ensuring that every meeting remains a place where the suffering alcoholic can hear the message of depth and weight, the life-saving solution found in the Big Book and the 12 Steps. When we honor this tradition, we preserve AA for future generations of suffering alcoholics. The long form of Tradition 5 states, each Alcoholics Anonymous group ought to be a spiritual entity having but one primary purpose, that of carrying its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. In AA's early days, some groups attempted to be all things to all people, which diluted the message and created confusion. Some wanted AA to become a general self-help program, a place for social reform, or even a treatment center alternative. Bill W. and the early members quickly realized that if AA lost focus, alcoholics, who desperately needed the solution, might never hear it. The fifth tradition was established to ensure AA remained dedicated to one purpose, helping alcoholics recover through the 12 steps. This means groups should not get distracted by outside issues, social causes, or personal agendas. AA is not a place for self-help philosophies or general mental health discussions. It exists to help alcoholics recover through the 12 steps. Carrying the message isn't just about sharing experiences. It's about guiding suffering alcoholics to the solution found in the Big Book. Other fellowships like NA or CA have slightly different primary purposes that focus on drug addiction, yet many today don't understand the difference. Because of diluted messaging, people confuse alcoholism, which involves a spiritual malady manifested in a mental obsession and a physical allergy manifested as a phenomenon of craving, with general substance abuse addiction, which can be someone who is prescribed opioids who becomes addicted, but once they get off, they get better. When AA loses focus, real alcoholics may not hear the message they need to recover. Staying true to the fifth tradition saves lives. For a long time, my experience was not understanding what was wrong with me and not having alcoholism and drug addiction explained to me from a point of view of someone who had recovered. Sure, probation clinicians told me I was addicted because I had adverse consequences due to my drug addiction, used more than a couple times a week, and used more than I wanted to. But they did not know how to help me, and the only ones that could help me were the ones who are like me, who carried the real message and the real responsibility of the fifth tradition. Practicing the fifth tradition means keeping meetings focused on recovery, not self-help, therapy, or outside issues. The primary purpose of every meeting should be to carry the message found in the Big Book and the 12 Steps to the alcoholic suffering who comes into the room for their last hope. To do this, we must share the solution, not opinions. Our experience with the steps, not personal philosophies or external influences, is what helps alcoholics recover. The newcomer is the most important person in the room for long-timers to recognize. They should feel welcome, safe, and introduced to the solution that saved our lives. We must also avoid outside issues like politics, debates, or personal agendas. AA is not a place for opinions. It's a place for recovery. When we uphold this tradition, we ensure that AA remains a place where alcoholics can find the truth that truly sets them free. The fifth tradition is built on spiritual principles that keep AA's mission clear and effective. First, purpose. AA exists for one reason, to help alcoholics recover. Staying true to the purpose ensures that those who suffer can find the real solution in the Big Book and the 12 Steps. Next, service. Carrying the message is an act of service that saves lives. Every member has a responsibility to help the newcomer find their way to recovery. And last, responsibility. If groups stray from this tradition, the message gets diluted, and suffering alcoholics may never hear what they need to recover. Again, by upholding Tradition 5, we protect the integrity of AA for future generations, ensuring that real alcoholics always have a place to recover. The fifth tradition is what will keep AA alive and effective. When groups stay true to their primary purpose, they ensure that real alcoholics can find the message they need to recover and live free. Every time we share from the Big Book, every time we welcome a newcomer, and every time we carry the message instead of opinions, we're protecting what makes AA work. If you're in a meeting, ask yourself, is this group staying focused on carrying the real message of recovery? Because the lives of suffering alcoholics depend on it. Thank you for watching this video, and remember to always carry the message with truth and love as you continue living Recovered on Purpose. If you want to watch an entire guide for all the 12 traditions, you can click right here. Or if you want to go back to the 12 steps and hear a full guide, you can click right here.